Right, you're muted. You're like a year in, right?
2020.
Yeah.
I'm a year in. Yeah.
Did you learn anything today?
Absolutely. I always find something to learn with whatever it is that you're saying. What I do is, what I'm glad, I'm in the mastery group right now.
So what did you learn today from exactly where you're at right now that you can apply this week?
My convictions and how to speak more towards that.
And you've heard me say that before, right? Like, this isn't the first time I've told you about convictions and beliefs.
No.
Something landed deeper today?
It landed deeper because of what you mentioned, that some people are introverts, and some people, I mean, if you're speaking in your zone of genius, it'll go on for, you can talk for hours. So the only reason you get that is from your actual experience, not from, picking something out of a book or something that you learned or just something that you want to teach, but something that you really feel that you believe, and that can go on forever. And that makes a whole difference. It makes a huge difference. Yeah.
So what action do you think you'll take from being here today?
What action is something that I should have taken way before I started, because my pilot has developed into a 15-person group right now.
Woohoo!
And it's amazing. And I don't even come from a line of healers for many years. I've always dabbled in the health and wellness. I'm a chef. And I actually took a certification of Western nutrition, which I didn't believe in. And I do believe in, I met Ayurveda, fell in love, and it just clicked, everything clicked. So, I'm an herbalist, I'm a chef, and now I'm just trying to meld Ayurveda into all of our daily living and modern living. And that is just amazing. I had an aneurysm in 2007. And later, and I come from advertising company, fast-paced, drinking and meetings after meeting, and just really, helping other people thrive instead of myself, helping companies thrive. And I said, wait a minute, how can we focus on helping other companies and people thrive when we're like burning the candle on both ends? So I took a different approach. So I took my culinary expertise, my herbalist expertise, and then with Ayurveda now it's amazing. So now since 2011, I'm telling you, I got divorced. I started a new company. This is all just through YHC and the simplicity of the strategies and the marketing is gotten me here today. So yes, I have a return on my investment tenfold.
Yay. Awesome. So, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like we have to hear things again and again, and we're at a different point because the actions that we just took are now leverageable with the actions that we'll take next. And that's how it continues to work. Like, I was just at a podcasting event this past weekend at She Podcasts. And if I hadn't podcasted for 10 years, I may have had a really different experience than the experience I had. But because I've podcasted for 10 years and I've done so many things over time, I was able to be there and learn what I needed to learn right now. Right. And that's, to me, how there's a huge advantage to that. So part of the reason I wanted Darlene to speak for Beverly's question is that experienced members and new members learn from each other. And there's tremendous leverage in that. And it's a much more accelerated learning path than a group of beginners starting. And even in a group of beginners, there's still multiple levels in any group of beginners. So what I know from yoga health coaching is, like, some beginners come in and they just crush it. Right? Why? Because they came in and they already had some sales and marketing skills. They already had a bunch of stuff put together. They had a lot to leverage coming in. So they get the business model, they get the community, they get guiders. So they needs lighting a fire under their ass, and like, bam, like, they make a lot of money really fast, and then they keep doing that, right? And then what happens is that people that have been around for a while are like, who's that? Like, who's the new person that's on fire in here, right? And then they get inspired. But what also happens is that new people come in, and they don't have all those skills, and they're able to leverage from people that do. And they're able to see that it works. And because it's a super, like, what we really value is is a super dynamic community, that it's a growth community, that everyone supports each other's growth, that you have people that are really experienced supporting people that don't have that much experience. And that feels really good if you don't have that much experience. You have all these people with a lot more experience looking out for you, supporting you, cheering you on, and giving you guidance and leadership. Man, that's dynamic. And that's what I call a dynamic group model. So I don't want a group of beginners going step by step together as the only option. I want that and the small group in with the bigger group, where you really feel the momentum of the whole community. The other thing that happens is, because we're global and because we have a lot of specialization within the community, like I want the mental health therapist to connect with the mental health therapist. I want the yoga therapist to connect with the yoga therapist. I want the nurses to connect with the nurses, and the doctors with the doctors, et cetera. Because when those connections happen, what we find over time is like people do find their new best friends here. And what I've seen over time, this is something I've been paying attention to this past week, and I find it really fascinating, is members that were in 5-6 years ago, when they post on Facebook, I read the comments and I look for how many people did they meet in yoga health coaching. Usually it's over 50%. Even though they might be done with yoga health coaching years ago, over 50% of the people commenting, meaning the people they're still connecting with and supported by and co-leading with, they found here. And that's, to me, a sign of a highly functional network, right? That it just keeps giving back to you year after year. And to me, that part of that is because we want to develop a very collaborative environment as healers. Like we all need each other for healthier communities around the planet.